Welcome to Trouble Afoot Live, our Tuesday night weekly discussion where Charcot warriors, caregivers, families, and medical professionals come together to learn from one another. Tonight's discussion panel is ready, and we're glad that you're here. So let's give Charcot Foot a voice. Our voice. Let's get started. Hey everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. It is Tuesday night. It's our Tuesday live episode of the Trouble Afoot podcast. Tonight we're going to talk about our jobs and how Charcot Foot affected our jobs. But before we get into it, I want to send out a little shout out to a listener or viewer that saw us on YouTube live last week, and they messaged me because they could see my email address down here on this side of the screen where it is. And they said, "What the heck is Charcot Foot?" And I'm like, well, I guess I didn't really explain it, but I figured it didn't need explanation because it was our 84th episode last week. But it was only our first time on YouTube. So a quick rundown, Charcot Foot is a degenerative bone disease that obviously affects the bones in your feet. Now, you have the most bones in your body in your feet. And because of usually diabetes, you've got this increased blood flow that softens your bones, which isn't always a bad thing, but usually people don't couple it up with neuropathy, which is, basically dead nerves. You don't feel anything in your feet. And if you don't feel anything in your feet, you have softened bones. And the third complication usually, or the third thing that most people have when they have Charcot Foot, they're also a little bit overweight, all the way to being obese. And if you have all those things working against you, your bones are going to break. And these little bones, maybe one of them breaks. You don't feel it because you have neuropathy. So you don't know what's happening. It's like a domino effect. The bones keep breaking and breaking and breaking, and then you're in a lot of trouble. And it's a scary, scary disease because being someone that has diabetes, you're also open to infection, ulcers, which open your skin up, and that really opens you up to infection. Osteomyelitis is bone infection, and that can travel right up your leg, and you can go sepsis. I mean, you can die. And that's what my specialist told me the first visit I went to him. You could have died. And you think that didn't scare you. I mean, it's almost as scary as looking up Charcot Foot on the computer and seeing the pictures. So that's just a rundown on what Charcot Foot is. But let's get into our episode tonight. And we're going to talk about how Charcot Foot affected your job. And first off, I want to bring our panel on real quick here. And maybe there we go, panel one. There we are. There's our 4-person panel tonight. We're waiting on Nia. She just sent me a message on Facebook. Let me look and see what's going on with her message real quick. Oh, she's stuck with family. Family is visiting her in Wales. So if someone's going to travel to Wales to visit, that's a good thing. She said she'll try and join us a little bit later. But who's visiting at 1:00 in the morning in Wales? But hey, man, they have some weird things over there, I guess, overseas. So let's introduce everybody. To my side is Dawn. Dawn, welcome. This is Dawn's first time actually helping us on the panel. So welcome, Dawn.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you and your expertise. And then down below me, right beneath me here in the picture is Woody. Jason, or we call him Woody. Welcome, Woody.
Hey, guys. How are you, Wayne?
Steven, I am wonderful. We're all beautiful. And then we've got Steven is the last one who's wearing his Have You Seen My Toe shirt because he's had an amputated toe. Which
we're looking for it.
I've had 3 amputated toes. Do I get 3 shirts, or do they have something that says "Have you seen my toes?" plural? I don't know. But did you say toga?
No, you're terrific.
Toga. All right, and let's see. Looks like First of all, we got. Let's put this on here. Hey, Woody, check out those chats. We got Tammy Cooper joined us from Boston area, Massachusetts. Welcome, Tammy. First time Tammy's joined us. And what I ask everybody is, if it's your first time joining us, just pop in, say hi, tell us where you're from, and that way you'll get your star on that family friends map that we have going on with everybody that participates in the podcast. So we're gonna open up with the first question, and I think that everyone can see each other pretty easily here, so we'll just sort of go around the circle when I'll just give you the question. I was going to like zoom in on you and all that good stuff, but that's a little too much work. Here's the first question tonight. Curious, when you were diagnosed, what was your job, or it could still be your job, but what was your job when you were diagnosed? Dawn, we're going to let you go first.
I'm sorry, you're going to shoot me. Can you repeat that? What was my diagnosis?
No, what was your job when you were diagnosed?
Oh, my job. I was actually unemployed at that time. My story's a little backwards.
Oh, well, you didn't lose your job.
But it started with neuropathy, so I was unemployed at the time.
So when you were diagnosed with Charcot Foot, you were unemployed.
Correct.
Well, all right. Well, that doesn't give much to this, to the discussion, but it's okay.
It does as you go.
As we continue, it's going to get better, right? Otherwise, you're out of here.
You got it.
All right, Don. Yes. Thank you. Woody, what about you? What was your job, or when you were diagnosed? Well, I don't want to say when you were. Let's just say when you were diagnosed with Charcot Foot, but actually go back to when you first started your foot problems too.
So when I started having foot problems, I was general manager of a new car dealership, and so what at the time I didn't know was Charcot Foot, but it greatly impacted my work. That was a high intensity, high movement job, and of course it definitely slowed me down a lot. Then after the car business, I sold heavy equipment, operating heavy equipment, doing heavy equipment things definitely impact that. And then now I'm a realtor, and it still has effects on, showing houses is sometimes more of a challenge. Getting around is more of a challenge. It's just,
gotcha. We just need to know your job there. Yep. That's all we need. We're going to get more into that other stuff here soon. Okay. Steven, what about you? What was your job when you were diagnosed?
When you
thought you were diagnosed? Yes.
Right. My whole issue when I started, I was a patient advocate for the hospital, and then I started having issues with the feet, and an opportunity came back to be a unit coordinator in the medical field in the emergency department, and it was more based on sitting, so it was much better for me in the long run.
Gotcha. Just 1 second here. I'm messaging someone here that's messaging me like, how do I get on to watch this? Sorry. All right. And a little bit of news about Steven. Steven has since found out from his doctors that he does not have Charcot Foot. That's wonderful, but we're going to keep Steven around because that life experience of being a patient advocate is something that I think that we can really use here. And looks like we lost Woody. He's back. Let's get Woody back on here. Oh, now you changed positions. So Steven, you're on the other side.
All right, that's good.
Oh, you're back. What are you okay? But we're going to keep Steven around because I think that a lot of our discussions may have to do with hospital stays, nurses, doctors, what has happened in the hospital, and it might really be advantageous to have someone that has the experience of Steven with us. So that's great. But congratulations on not having Charcot Foot.
Thank God.
You know what, Dawn? I sent him a T-shirt.
He's gonna have to.
Yeah, Dawn has bought 2 T-shirts. So,
yeah.
So send your shirt over to Woody because we're still waiting on his.
Yep. I'm on because I'm on the fan club.
That's right.
In the fan club.
That's right. You're the big purchaser. All right, let's see. Let's go to our question number 2. And this question is now, how did Charcot Foot first affect your ability to do that job? Dawn, I don't really know what you're going to say about this one yet, but but as things sort of like on the screen here, standing, walking, lifting, driving, fatigue, immediate job loss. Now, for me, um, I didn't even tell you my job because I was too excited of getting back with me or whatever I was doing. But I was a retail manager and I ran an appliance store. Okay, if you needed a microwave, a refrigerator, a stove, a wall oven, you came to see Wayne. Okay, and and that brings me into my answer for question number 2. I immediately lost my job, not because of my employer, but because of my doctor. And all right, we have. Oh, hey, Bonnie. All right, and that's you could left it on there. That's fine. But that worked. Maybe I'll put the question back on. Thanks, Woody. But there we
Go
go.
ahead.
There
Sorry.
we go.
I was trying to reply.
Oh, that's fine. No, that's we can just say hi to her. We can reply just by saying it because she's watching. Um, but yeah, that's Bonnie's first time on here too. So a couple first timers already tonight. Thank you. I just reached out to them this past week. Um, so I lost my job immediately again, not because of my employer. They didn't fire me. They didn't let me go. They had tried to accommodate me when I was on my knee scooter and things, when I had my toes amputated, things like that. But that meant I was going to recover. So they knew that I would be fine and I could get back to the heavy lifting because not only did I run the business, but I did everything all the way to delivering appliances when push came to shove. And we were always unloading semis full of appliances. So that heavy lifting couldn't do that with Charcot Foot, obviously. So my doctor basically said I had to retire. I had to get out of that job. And I also taught at a community college, and I tried to call them back, and that stopped at COVID. Taught some night courses and business courses for the school. And after COVID, you didn't really need that many teachers because of all the at-home learning. And so I called them back after this, and they just didn't have anything. Um, so that's me, and that's how I lost everything. Now, Dawn, does this question affect you at all yet?
So I was a volunteer, so
Okay.
I wasn't actually working.
That's still something.
That was your question. So I was volunteering, and you asked how it affected the ability to stand and walk and lift.
Yeah, all those things.
It was really hard to do my volunteer work, although it was a sitting job at a desk. It when you have your foot in a boot and it impacts your ability to get around, it's pretty difficult. And the building where I worked was actually pretty large, and there were events where we had to be on our feet from time to time. Couldn't walk. I was on a knee rollator most of the time, and standing is near impossible. So.
Right. Yeah, that was tough. With my knee scooter, I was pretty good at zipping around that shop unless there were a little piece of styrofoam laying around, and I would go just doing a tumble, do a header. I fell once, and my employees thought that was the most hilarious thing in the world because I just went flying. And it's like, then finally, are you okay? After got done laughing. But I would have kids take my scooter. I mean, so families would come in to buy appliances, and kids would see the scooter and just take it and they would take off. And there I was stuck. I was wheeling around on a desk chair trying to sell appliances to people because I didn't have my scooter because the kids. I didn't want to say no to the kids because you don't want to make the parents mad and say, hey, get your brats over here. And then they wouldn't buy anything from me. So you have to be nice, I guess. So, Steven, we're going to go back because that's the circle we're going to. What about you? How did it first affect you?
It really did not affect me because my job was predominantly sitting. There is some getting up and moving charts around, different things like that, having the patient sign forms. And my team just took over. They're like, don't do it. Just give it to us. We'll do it. Just run the desk, handle the calls, call the doctors, admit patients, get it all done.
This is your non-driving foot?
No.
Oh, well, so good thing you don't have Charcot Foot.
Amen to that one.
Well,
I
yeah.
do good with my left foot.
Well, where I can't drive left-footed. Anyway, I didn't like that. But okay, well, thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
Woody, what about you?
Yeah. So, Charcot Foot, before I was even diagnosed, really affected my job in the retail car industry. It was brutal. It was 12, 14-hour days. Standing, walking, lifting, driving, all the above.
Well, plus you said you did heavy equipment sales too, right?
Yeah, yeah. Heavy equipment sales was even worse because, not only was I driving the big trucks, I was demonstrating how to operate the big trucks. Running a vac truck out in the middle of a field or in a city sewer just became something I couldn't do. So I transitioned into full-time realtor. It's still tough. There's things that slow me down, but I keep on pushing through it.
Right, right. Do you guys have any problem with fatigue?
Standing. Walking doesn't kill me. I can walk, which probably is not great to walk a lot, but standing kills me.
Well, Don,
Same. I can walk. It's tough, but I cannot stand.
yeah, I try and do laundry and I get so worn out. It's just, and it's not an excuse not to do laundry. Trust me, because I feel so guilty. I want to help out them best I can. So.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got. We're through question number 2 already out of 6. Good deal. Here's question number 3. Now to keep working, you sort of answered this a little bit. What type of changes did you make to keep working or to try to keep working? Now with me, I just knew I couldn't do it. There were no changes that I could make that they would allow me to do that job. Now you think that someone that runs an appliance store was the guy that sits in an office, up in the ivory tower, signs papers and tells people go do this, go do that. Well, maybe in the big cities it is, but not in small town Illinois. That's where you do everything. So there was just no way I could keep trying to work. And then when I tried to contact them about teaching, that would have been a stretch also, because you think that teaching isn't that big of a deal, but you're usually on your feet a little bit. And I was one of those guys that just lectured and walked around and talked to everybody. And I would have hated it just sitting there, but I would have had to do it. But, that's just how it is. So now we're going to go backwards around the circle just to shake things up a bit, just to fool Stephen. But Stephen, you didn't really have to make any changes.
No, my employer was great. They really, really worked with me. They wanted to keep me. I'd already, been at there 30 plus years. So I've proven that I'm a loyal employee. So I'm very blessed. They gave back to me.
That's good. That's good. Woody, did you have to, you talked a little bit about making your changes to keep working, but you did get a crow boot.
Yeah, I did.
And that probably helped you tremendously.
Going back to what Stephen just said, though, I was a 20 plus year employee with the same employer in the car business, and they were not accommodating and they did not care. It was, yeah. So just completely opposite of what Stephen went through. When your ability to perform was impacted, then you were easily replaceable, right? So,
but we're talking retail. Retail's horrible.
Retail's
hard too.
It is.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that, but my bosses were horrible, and
Yep.
we'll be talking about that in a minute. So and then Dawn, as far as did you make any changes?
Yeah, I was volunteering, as I said, and a position open where I volunteered, and they actually encouraged me to apply. And I was shocked because I thought nobody's going to want someone like me. But, I tried not to let the Charcot slow me down or complain about it. And so I demonstrated that I could do it, and they encouraged me to stay, to join them. And they have been really gracious, and the employees are really helpful, like Stevens. And they're accommodating if I need to work remote, or if for example, we're getting a new copier and our copier is way down the hall and down some stairs and then down some more, another distance. And I'm proposing that we move the copier onto my floor. And they're like, that's actually a good idea for multiple reasons, not just for you, but for many reasons. So they've been lucky.
That's good. That's good. I'm going to get to the next question, but I'm going to flash down here. The last time I showed a picture of my dogs, I got in big trouble with Steven talking about dogs, but there's Luna. Now Luna's just laying there watching me. So she's just right next to me. She just doesn't want to leave my side. It's my puppy. All right. So the next question, which we've sort of delved into already, how did your employer respond? Now, also interesting enough is how your coworkers or clients or customers respond. And this is something that I have a little bit to contribute here. My employer, horrible. Okay. My bosses, they didn't care. They didn't care about a guy that would work, 80 plus hours a week. They didn't care about a guy that, increased their business incredibly since I went there. Things like that. I don't want to toot my own horn about that. That's not why we're here, but they didn't care. I was telling Woody earlier about this. The only thing they did for me, they didn't have a retirement party, a goodbye anything, nothing. They just paid on what I still owed on a dishwasher that I had on like a layaway. Now, it was a good dishwasher, don't get me wrong, but when it's at cost, that it's still that was really greatly generous of them. I didn't know what to expect after being with them, for 20 years. I thought, well, maybe they'll just give me the company vehicle or something that I was driving. No, just here's the rest of that dishwasher. Thanks. Good luck with that, But co-workers were tremendous. I had a great staff. I was always a tough manager, but I was fair, and all my employees always appreciated that. I had very long-term employees, so even though I was tough, they didn't quit. I think they knew that we all did a good job together. And I'm still friends with a lot of them today. A couple of them I don't hear from, but that's it's going to be that way. But just real good people. Now, when I ask about clients, to me, those are my customers. That's where it gets actually a little emotional for me, because they would go into the store and they would ask a salesman there, yeah, I need to see Wayne. Because they would always just come to me. I would have 3 generations come to me. The grandfather bought for me, then sent their kids, and now their kids were coming to me. So what a great feeling. So I would have people go in and ask for me, and one of the salesmen was just like, well, he retired. That's all he would say. But the other guy would tell him he had some major medical issue and he couldn't work anymore. I actually received several cards in the mail. You don't see that these days, with notes from saying, "Oh, I hope you're okay." Hope everything. I mean, how nice is that? And then a lot of Facebook messages, obviously, because social media. But to get a card in the mail, heck, we hardly get Christmas cards anymore.
Yeah.
Let alone a card, wishing everything's okay. So wonderful customers, and that's Do I miss the job? No, nobody misses a job, but I miss the customers. That's really what I miss. So that's how they helped me and how they responded. So we'll go back to Dawn. You talked a little bit about your employer, but what about your co-workers and others?
My coworkers have generally been really supportive. Like Steven said, run to get something, kind of help out in the office where they can. Clients I would attribute to members of the place I work, and they have been helpful, but have become really numb to it because I have both feet. It's been so many years, and it's not really a novelty anymore.
Right.
Like, let's take care of Dawn thing anymore.
Right. I mean, so they gave you special treatment, though, your employer did, But does your employer give everybody special treatment though? They're not jealous of you, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Oh, Dawn gets to work from home. One of those.
Yeah, I guess maybe people get special treatment, but yeah, well,
I mean, do they think you got special treatment? Is the thing. I would hope not, but people don't understand. That'll be another question.
I would like to hope not too, but I personally feel like I've been out of the office way more than I want to be, or than even an employee should be. But so that guilt lies on me. I don't know what I don't know exactly what my colleagues say behind my back.
Well, let's hope they don't say anything, but they do, because that's how they are. Whether you did anything wrong or not, they're going to say something, because that's them. That's how people are. But let's see. We can go to Steven next, but Steven has like the perfect job and he's the perfect employee, so we'll skip over Steven. No, just kidding, Steven. How were your coworkers and clients respond to you when they saw you in a boot?
Very good. And when I had my toe amputated and 3 hospitalizations, 2 surgeries, I work for Orlando Health, which is a big hospital, down here. And I ran out of vacation and sick time. So I was worried about not having insurance. And that's a perfect opportunity to boot me to the curb. They put me in negative sick and vacation time until I came back and paid it back.
Oh, how nice.
So I can't complain. And I was spoiled. That's all right. I spoil all of them very much so.
Well, you know how we said we're going to keep Steven on because patient advocate and all. Maybe we should just kick Steven off, because I'm jealous of Steven, and we can talk behind his back.
That's all right.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's great. That's great. It's great to hear that there's a lot more good people out there than bad. Yeah. I didn't want to interrupt you, but
I'm very blessed. It's all good.
Good. All right, Woody. How about your coworkers and clients and customers?
Clients have been great. In my real estate career, clients have been really understanding, really have rallied behind me. I think there's probably been some that have hired me, maybe even as a result of, what I've got. Maybe give one to the Gimper. I don't know. It's kind of. Have there been some that haven't hired me because of it? Probably, but I don't know that. Co-workers have been very supportive. The last time I was in the hospital, the last surgery I had, they actually took up an office donation and donated like $3,500.
Wow.
Really, they've been incredible. Couldn't ask for a better work environment. Of course, I'm not an employee, right? I'm a subcontractor, being a realtor.
Right.
But Keller Williams, I'll just give them a plug. Super fantastic organization, great people, have really rallied around me. They've brought meals. They've been very supportive. When I need something, they'll show a house. They'll go above and beyond to help me. But I've always been the guy that's gone over and above for them also. So right. It's just reciprocity, but still.
Right. Good.
Been very, very good.
I had, I've had so many surgeries. I mean, it's because with the toe amputations, which some of them took 2 surgeries to get it healed up, and plus the Charcot Foot, just all the different surgeries I've had on my feet.
Yeah.
I get people, obviously my employees are joking with me, but when I make the sales and when I'm out selling my salespeople, as the manager, they're saying, it's because you just pretend that you had surgery again, so get the sympathy sale. So I'm like, that's great. Whatever it takes, man. Whatever. The scooter's awesome. I love it. So
yeah.
Woody's on the move.
Woody's on the move because my computer's going dead and I left my charger in my pickup.
He's going back to get. Where's that Sonic you had? What you said? Oh.
Yeah, I wish I had more, but it's out now.
Baby back. Oh no, that's. Hey, Steven didn't hear my joke?
You better tell that.
Oh, one. I mean, it's sort of a joke, but Dawn, there's a lot of tension in the Middle East these days. You know that, obviously. And if you're familiar with your geography, which maybe Jeff Rich is on the line because he's the one that goes to Qatar and all that to help people's feet. But in the United Arab Emirates, there's two states that are less than 100 miles away, Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and they just don't like each other, and it's all because of the Flintstones. Dubai likes them, or does not. Dubai does not like them. Abu Dhabi do.
Ah,
Thank you.
I didn't
Okay,
think of it. I'm learning your humor.
everybody. Thank you. That's Dad, Grandpa humor right there. Abu Dhabi. Dawn's too young to even know what the Flintstones are. Look at her over there. She's like, huh?
No, I heard you say that once before already.
The joke?
Yes.
When was that?
I don't, maybe when we were talking another
I
time.
don't know. I was talking. There were a few people on, but I didn't know who was on when we were talking with Woody. I just think that's hilarious. That just brought me to tears when I heard that thing. And it was somewhere on YouTube or something, maybe TikTok. Because now that we're going to be getting onto TikTok also,
we are getting
it's
on TikTok.
I was going through those, and gee whiz, that's more addicting than YouTube. Flipping through these goofy things.
Yeah.
Oh man, YouTube that and Instagram. I mean, oh my goodness, and we'll be on Instagram also. So anyway, that's my joke. And next week we'll see who brings the joke. Okay, it's got to be good.
Then I can find one.
All right, all right. We're going to go to question number 5. 5 out of 6 already. Now, something. In your work life, it's interesting to see what people that don't have Charcot Foot don't understand, and it really isn't just in your work, but also your personal life. Because when I left my job, I didn't go back. Okay, I was at the doctor. He told me, and I went home, and I couldn't face anybody. Okay, I couldn't. I was a wreck, so I couldn't go back into that store. I had one of my good delivery drivers pack my stuff up on my desk and bring it to me. So I couldn't really explain Charcot Foot to people at work, but I still had a life of family and some other friends and things like with my grandson's baseball and all that stuff. And one thing that people don't understand, I mean, there's a ton of things, but I'm just going to name one thing, is people don't understand how much pain you can be in when you tell them that you have neuropathy and you can't feel your bones break. How do you make sense of that one? When you tell them you don't feel the pain, but yet you're in so much pain you can't even get to sleep at night. It's just a weird. It's almost like a misnomer. It's almost like jumbo shrimp or whatever those are called. Not misnomers, but oxymorons. Yeah. It's how do that's one thing that people don't understand. Dawn, we're going to go to you. What do you think people don't understand?
I could give a laundry list about this, but they don't understand how much effort it takes to get through the day. Walking without tripping in a boot, walking without tripping without a boot, just the general fatigue, like we mentioned earlier.
Let's not go. Don't go through your whole laundry list yet. Let these guys give an example, because then
I just want to give one example.
You go ahead. You're the boss.
Well, a colleague would stand at I work 20 hours a week, and I'm limited by the state. So a colleague will say to me, I don't know why you can't work more. Why don't you just become full time? And I'll say, you don't know what my life is like when I'm not here.
Yeah.
And they don't. They would never understand.
Exactly. It's exactly true. Woody, what do you think?
So I'll just go back to a meeting that I was in today. We have a weekly meeting at the office. And so, I don't know, the team leader was up there talking about about walking around, and she's like, well, what would walking around be like, looking at your feet all the time instead of looking up? And I'm thinking, I've got to look down all the time, because if I don't, I'll trip. It's just life with Charcot is so much different than anybody could ever imagine. How they can never understand that you don't feel that the bones in your foot are broken, right? And they don't know that it takes me an extra 45 minutes in the morning to get ready to go to work. Everything's slower. Everything takes more effort. And it's just, I don't think people have the capacity to understand. And I hope they're never in the position where they have to understand, right?
Right.
It's something that I wouldn't wish on anyone.
Right. Stephen, what you got?
Pain, fatigue, balance.
Balance. Good one.
Balance.
Yeah.
As I said, I don't do a lot of walking, but I do more than I should, but that's the type of worker I am.
Stephen, I'm sorry. Did you have a crow boot?
No, I just have a regular, like a fracture boot that goes like right below the knee.
Is that the one you said you can pump up and you pump it and yeah. Gotcha. Oh, that's still not easy to walk. Is that cam boot? Is that what it's called? Is that cam boot? Yeah. That's still not easy to walk in.
The scooter for 9 months, and that's a
Right.
pain in the apple to drive from work, get out of the car, hook up the boot.
Remember, I'm the guy with the scooter that sold appliances. I'd throw it in the back of the pickup truck, go to work, or I'd throw it in the cab of the pickup truck because it's snowing, and take it to work. And yeah, what a hassle.
Well, you're younger than I am, so you can do that.
I am much younger than you are. One year, but still, one year is a lot. 1 year is a lot.
Birthday's in January, right?
It is
6 months.
6 months. That rounds up to 1 year in my book.
How old are you guys? Spill the beans.
61.
61.
Man, that's old.
What, 67?
Did you say Woody's 67?
Me?
You, no, Wayne.
Well, you said Woody was 67. I can't believe you said
Sorry,
that.
that was the wrong one. Sorry.
I hope I make it to 67.
Well, Woody, what about you? Tell us then if you're making us say it.
53. I'm 53.
And Dawn, you don't have to say a word. If Dawn wants anyone to know, they can listen to her episode. The question.
Never ask a woman how old she is, but she'll throw it out there.
Well, she's 41. Come on.
41. There you go.
Way before the Flintstones. Okay, what else you got, Dawn?
I'm older than Wayne.
What? and younger than Steven.
Right.
Well, everyone's younger than me.
So see, it's just like The Price is Right. Oh, we're climbing the mountain or whatever that. Wow.
It's 55.
Double nickel.
Double nickels. Wait a minute. You said you're older than Wayne. You said Woody.
Woody.
Yeah, Woody. Yeah. I say you're not older than me.
Related to this question that we're on, yes. Woody maybe can speak to this also, but something else about work life that people don't understand is the number of doctor's appointments you have. When you have Charcot or neuropathy, the whole business. I need to be off because of this, or I can't take an appointment that day because I have that.
Well, what about if you have to have a surgery? You have to go to your general practitioner to get approved. You have to go to the lab to get all the labs done. Everything. It's just now Steven, of course, is right there. He doesn't. That's where he works. So.
And my Charcot doctor is 450 miles away, so that even makes things more complicated.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Woody, I just talked to somebody that he's a doctor and he's at Texas Tech. I don't remember his name. It's not like you're going to know him, but maybe he knows Lee. Because Lee was out through Texas Tech too, wasn't he, Lee Rogers, or was that not?
No, he works for the University of Texas. It's the the University of Texas at San Antonio now.
Oh, okay, that's right.
But I don't think he was ever affiliated with the Texas Tech system.
So you're the
I don't
Texas
think.
Tech. So I'll get the guy's name, and you never know. It's such
Yeah.
a small world,
Never know.
Don. It's like my
Yeah.
doctor knows Woody's doctor, and it's just crazy how they all know each other.
And while it's a super pain in the butt to have to go 450 miles to the doctor, the local ones are going to cut the foot off, so it's worth the drive, right?
Yeah. I mean, back to Woody's story a little bit. I mean, I just can't imagine how close this was for you. The day before you were scheduled to have a BKA, this doctor swoops in, and that's Dr. Lee Rogers, by the way, just to give him the plug, swoops in like Superman or Spider-Man and pulls you off the table basically and saves your foot.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just a testament to show people technology today. It's not all about amputation. Now, some people, it might be the best thing in the world for. I understand that. But I still want to save my parts as long as I can save my parts. And
You should always
most
have
people
it.
do.
You should always have it.
Yeah. Because what's going to happen next? After
But that opens up to me a whole new world of advocacy. The people out there that just take the local doctor's word for it and get it done rather than, going and finding someone that truly understands what's going on.
Yeah.
You always have to advocate for yourself.
Yes.
Research.
But so many people just don't know that, right, Stephen? I mean, they just don't know.
What do you mean I can fire my doctor? You can. Fire your doctor. We'll get you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make you a bad person, him or her a bad person. You don't click. That's all it is to it. We'll get you someone new.
Yeah.
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 Something people don't understand too about work is getting up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom when you have to try and strap a crow boot back on to move through the house. It's not easy when you got to go. You got to go. And I've heard it sounds like a joke, like it's funny, but it's not funny. I've had so many people talk to me about that, about how horrible that is. For a guy, it's a little easier. We can get those urinal bottles like they have at the hospital. You can always have one of those standing nearby. But I feel so bad for people that, they're first of all, if they have an accident, they're embarrassed, which I can totally understand that. And it's just little things like that. And I mean, there's other things that you guys might have about this, about how difficult it is that people don't understand. I'm trying to, now my mind's going blank. I'm trying to think of some of the things I've had stored up for last week, and now I can't think of all of them. So anyone, throw it out there. Okay, everybody understands everything. No, I mean, there's so many things.
No, but most people don't understand the pain as well, because it's an oxymoron. I can't feel my feet, but they hurt like hell. It's like, well, wait a minute. You don't feel them, or they hurt?
Yeah.
Well, the joints hurt, the body hurts, it moves, everything moves, but I mean, I just can't feel them. Like I always relate and say, if I turn my head and tell you touch a toe, and I'll tell you which one you touch, and it's like I'm off.
Oh, come on! I won the tickle contest for years, and I thought neuropathy was cool back when I was 43, and then 57 Charcot Foot hits, so not cool anymore. But my kids could tickle my feet, and I would not laugh, and I would make it look like I was going to laugh, but I really wasn't, because there was nothing there. But they thought, wow, he's awesome. Now they know better. They learned that many other ways too. But yeah, there's just so many. There's so many things. Just the mobility. I've not had to ever use a wheelchair, but some people couldn't use the knee scooter if they had the external fixator on after surgery. Dawn, have you had external fixator? Have you had surgeries?
Yes, I have.
So did you use a knee scooter with the next fix?
I did.
Okay, so your knee could fit. Some people just aren't steady with that small portion of their knees still on the scooter. Like maybe to slip off or something like that. But yeah, I was fortunate enough to be able to use the scooter also with it. Because that thing's big. What's that?
Mm-hmm.
But you're tall. You have lengthy legs. I mean.
Well, yeah, true. But I mean, it's still, I guess, the distance between your knee and the distance between your knee and your ankle, is that different if you're taller? I don't know. I guess if you ever sat on a chair next to somebody that you're 5 inches taller too then, and you guys are the same height when you sit there because your torsos are the same. So maybe it's all in their legs. Maybe you're right. But Dawn's very tall also, right?
I think it's in the core instead of the leg length.
Okay.
Oh, for the height, you mean?
Yeah.
No, I think it's because you use your core so much to be on the knee scooter.
Oh, I see. Maybe.
I think you actually use your core more to balance than not so much your knee. I mean, your knee's on the pad,
right.
but
what about that that iWalk? Have any of you experienced that?
I tried it.
You did.
I ordered from Amazon. I tried it, and I almost fell down 2 or 3 times, and I sent it back. Maybe I'm just not coordinated right, but for me it didn't work.
I used to think I was so coordinated, but that iWalk, you know what we're talking about, Stephen?
It's like it's kind of like a knee scooter, but you have a peg.
I'm afraid of 2 crutches. With just one crutch,
no,
I would break my hip or something.
I see. But that iWalk, it's like you're a pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a peg. Yeah.
But I thought I was coordinated, but there's no way now I'd be that coordinated to use that. But I was just curious. So at least you tried it. But it's the coolest. It's the coolest thing if people can get used to it.
The ad looks awesome, right?
Oh, they make it look so easy.
Okay. So let's go off on one other tangent for just 1 second. Right. There's another apparatus that I've seen advertised, and I've seen like doctors use it, and it's and I haven't tried it, but I want to. But it's like it's a chair that's always with you. Have you seen that? So it straps to you, but you can like sit down. But when you stand up, the chair follows you. It looks cool, but I would probably fall off.
Yeah.
How do you walk?
It straps to your legs. I mean, it looks amazing, but
you're just dragging a lawn chair behind you.
Clank.
This is Texas, okay? This is clank. One of those old lawn chairs. No, that's interesting. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
So whenever you need a break, sit down. I guess. I mean, I hear so many people talking about those mobility scooters. You know, that are supposedly insurance is covering and all that. They look neat, but it's like the ones at Walmart. I really don't want to be out there riding that around right now. I don't think. I don't know why. I didn't even like walking around in my crow boot. So I don't like the attention. I don't want people. I mean, it was fun when I had the scooter at work because I had to have it, and it was fun with the people saying, "Hey, you're on the scooter yet?" But I really don't like people coming up to me and saying, "What's up with your foot? Did you have a skiing accident?" Ha ha ha. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. No, I don't ski.
Should have seen the other guy.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's so then like I get people ask me all the time about my foot. So I don't want to go into the long version. So I don't know what the short version should be, right?
No, it's hard. It's hard to do the short version, then they don't understand it all with the surgeries you've been through and pain, the fatigue, all that. It's hard.
There really is no short version.
We got.
I usually go with I had surgery.
You go with what?
I usually kind of go with I've had surgery. It's easier than to go in, like you said, long version, or just smile when they say, "Oh, they know what it's like. They went through that for 6 weeks."
Right.
You have no idea what it's like.
Try after 2 or 3 years.
Got a couple comments here. Rich, who is the admin of the Charcot Foot group. Rich, thanks for being on. This is Rich's first time on the podcast. Rich was in town, and Rich was watching us get our shoes made from Ellen and Brian Kleinman. But Rich put a comment here. You know, you don't feel the acute pain of the injury like the broken bone, but you feel the blanket of chronic pain that covers your body. Rich he's a walking encyclopedia. I love it. I want Rich on all the time just because of his information that he gives. But it's just so true how you just don't feel everything, but the chronic pain just drives you crazy. What else did Rich have here after his last? Boy, people are coming. It keeps moving the comments away.
And I like what Angela said. She said that she tells people that she has a broken bone disease.
Ah,
That's a good
Oh,
thing.
yeah, that is. That's good. Let's see what Rich. Let's see. Up there it is. I have a bone disease. There we go. Um, I keep losing that. Alan, when I talked about getting up and going to the bathroom, Alan put here that's where his house shoes could help. He makes the shoes that are like orthotics, but the soles are so thick that he can completely carve them out to fit your foot perfectly, to where you're basically floating on a bed of lightweight cork, and that's what his shoes do. And he makes a house shoe that you can just slip on, and it'd be so much easier to get up, go to the bathroom. So Alan's, I think Bonnie, who left said hello. Bonnie's actually going to be traveling from. I think she's near Salt Lake City. I think. Oh, don't get me. Forgive me if
She
I'm
she's
wrong.
in
was
Iowa. Yeah,
From
she's in Iowa.
Idaho. No, she's in Idaho. Yeah,
Idaho, Idaho.
I'm
Yes.
near Iowa, but she's in Idaho. Everything's Iowa to you. 'Cause you're in Detroit. But yeah, she's in Idaho, and she's going to fly to go see Alan and Brian and get shoes made. So that's great. Um, let's see. What did Rich say here? I missed him. The number one item for Charcot Foot patient is to learn how to advocate for yourself. Let me put that on there. So that's exactly what Stephen was saying. Woody, you were saying. You have to advocate for yourself, because a lot of doctors don't know what they're talking about yet. Which is, and not a knock on the
they
doctor,
don't.
not a knock on the doctor. They have so much to learn, but it's like one page in the medical books that they look at Charcot Foot. Um,
Bonnie is in the Pocono Mountains.
she's in the Pocono Mountains. She said.
Yep, Pocono Mountains of northeastern Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. So that's not. So it's not Bonnie. Okay. So
Different one, different Bonnie, different Bonnie.
oh, a different Bonnie. Okay.
We have a new Bonnie,
We have a new Bonnie. What's Bonnie's last name?
Bonnie
Oh
Quinn.
no, that Bonnie Quinn's who I thought I was talking. I thought that's who we were talking about from Idaho. So we're wrong with that. We were both wrong. Who was it coming from Idaho? We'll get back to you on that. Maybe she'll get on. But, let's see. I don't know exactly. Oh, the eye walk. Okay, that's what Rich said. The eye with the eye walk, the limit. Oh, why didn't that come up here? There we go. The eye walk weight limit is 275 pounds.
But then Bonnie said she tried it and she donated it because it was
Right.
very cumbersome to take off, and sitting was impossible with it. So
Oh, I guess because your leg is bent back behind you like a pirate, leg.
yeah.
There it is, right there. You can't even sit down without taking it off.
I just can't
That's
imagine.
interesting.
Well, I wasn't even competent enough to walk across the house, so she's better than I am.
And now mine.
Yeah, I would have to think with the balance issues we have that it would be impossible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'm off.
It was for me.
I'm frozen, guys. If you can hear me.
We could hear you.
I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me, but I can't move anything. That's good. Here we go. I think I'm back.
One thing I was gonna
Go ahead, Dawn.
One thing I was going to add about we talked about work life or family life that people don't understand is, well, this is kind of getting off subject, but even like family, like, did you have a trouble, Wayne, with like your grandkids? You said they would tickle you, but when grandpa didn't feel well or grandpa couldn't go somewhere.
The tickling thing was more actually my kids when they were younger, and nieces and nephews. The grandkids, I do have my one grandson is 18, so he was one that was part of that. But they've always sort of known that grandpa's got bad feet, and my grandson is the one that understands it the most. Heck, when he turned 16, he was in the hospital with me visiting me, and he didn't mind looking at my feet, right after surgery and things. But my other grandkids are much younger, and they just know that I've got foot problems and that I can't always make it to their events, or I can't always make it and things, and which is nice that they know that, and they just are around me like it's normal. and that's how I want it to be. I just want it to be normal because, yeah, okay. So Bonnie, so we're still talking about Bonnie and where she lives, and she's a New Yorker, born and raised, but in Pennsylvania now. So, don't mess with New Yorkers.
Oh,
Not at night. Just like chicks from Detroit. Don't mess with. There, we'll put there's her from.
Mhm.
And now I think we're sort of caught up on the chat there, but so we've had quite a few people bouncing in and out of the chat room, which is nice tonight.
That's
so
good.
I love it.
It's very good. I've got one. Let's see, question number 6. If you give one piece of advice to someone who's worried about their job after being diagnosed, what would it be? I'm going to leave this to you guys. I want to see what you guys might have. If you have any advice to anybody who's diagnosed and they're worried.
My number one advice would be find a way to be self-employed.
Okay. How about Woody can go first? And
I just jumped right in there, Wayne.
Hey, man, I'm the host here. What? No, go ahead. Be self-employed, you said?
Yep.
Well, yeah, that would be nice. It's not always that easy, but it's especially with you. At least you can sort of work your hours. You can work around it.
Well, I just there's not many employers that will allow you to take the time it takes to have Charcot Foot.
Right.
That's true. That is true. But aren't employers supposed to accommodate you? But they don't have to.
Yeah, supposed to. Maybe the state or someone would be a better employer than your average business owner. But
hey, Steven, shut up, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, well, yours does.
No.
I mean, they don't have to accommodate you. Obviously AGA, but
Yeah.
I was a manager. There were ways around everything. I could fire you, Stephen, for something that you don't even know you did. Okay.
Right. Yep.
And so then it has nothing to do with ADA. Right. And so that's the worst thing about it, especially Illinois at will. I could fire you, you're gone. You can quit anyway too. But does anybody work in a state where you have to give notice to quit? I don't know many states that have those laws now. It's mostly all at will. And so, I'm sorry, back to the question. Dawn, what about you? Any piece of advice to anybody that's worried?
I would say give it a try to work it out with your employer. But, do some negotiating, but not to the detriment of your own health. Don't try to do too much to overcompensate for your disability.
Right. I mean, it's just a job.
It's just a job.
Don't lose your foot, your life, anything like that. You've got your family to worry about. Our family loved my family loved the money I brought home, but I hope that they would much rather me at least still be here than the money. Maybe, I don't know. But so that's great. Great advice, Dawn. Stephen, any advice there?
I mean, I would be so intrigued to find out what ADA. I mean, if you're at your job, you apply for intermittent FMLA that goes into short-term, long-term. That's the only thing possibly if you go down that route. But and I'm not that person. Swear to God, I'm not. A lawyer would have a heyday with that.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah, they would if they could prove it. That's the bad thing.
Yeah.
Companies are big. A lot of big companies are smart. And you know what I found out about small companies? Lawyers don't want to mess with them sometimes because small companies just are like, oh, I made a mistake. I didn't know.
Yeah.
And that gets them by a lot of judges. Because it's interesting because my employer took a few things away from me, some of my vacation time, things like that. And I talked to an attorney. He goes, it's not worth it. He goes, you're going to spend too much paying me to make nothing. And and they'll just get off with the slap on the wrist as an employer. Yeah. I'm reading a comment from Bonnie again. Okay, so you said for the yes to please do, but she wants to send a messenger to messenger, and maybe we'll read that next week about it because about her employer, she learned some very interesting things and empowering things within the company in just the past few weeks. So it's probably to be a little bit too much for her to type. So yeah, Bonnie, send a message to me, and and I'll try and remember to relay it next week on here so we can discuss what you had to say before we start with our new discussion. And next week, before I get into our closing here, next week I'm going to do a little bit more of a catch-all. We've done 7 episodes. It's going to be our 8th episode, and we talked about some pretty interesting things, but it was a brand new thing, the live discussions, and we have now almost like have exponentially more people watching the episodes than they did originally when they started. And we discussed pain management. We discussed different types of things. Dawn came up with a great idea about talking about tips and tricks that we've learned to get through the day, or different things even after surgery that makes you feel better other than just popping pills, and preparing for surgery, things like that. So maybe next week we'll do more of a catch-all discussion, and people can type their comments in like they were doing tonight, and we can go and talk about some of these things. I'll put a little bit of an outline together or something, just so we're not completely hodgepodge. But I think it's probably a good idea to touch on everything that we've already gone over these last 7 weeks or 6 weeks before this, just because I think a lot of the stuff that we had to say early on was way too important for some people to miss. And I think that a lot of people that are now contributing and talking probably have some things to contribute about some of those topics. I think Stephen and Woody, I think you'd agree. Dawn, you've I think listened to every one of the, or watched every one of these episodes, and when we talked about pain and pain management, I'm just surprised that it was almost like crickets. There was nobody responding. And I think people are now maybe not as afraid to type a message, maybe not even afraid to get on here, even though, we have our panel going on. Let's see. Oh, she's talking about, Bonnie's talking a little bit about ADA and things like that. Yeah, she's an insurance underwriter. Excellent. No, don't worry, Bonnie. I appreciate that. So now we know what you're going to message me. I like that. That's some good information we might get from you. Maybe we'll have Bonnie on, Stephen on, patient advocate, and insurance underwriter. This is great.
I'm ready.
And Bonnie just said to not shut up, but they love hearing about everything, because everybody hasn't heard what we've had to say. So maybe every couple months we'll do a catch-all type episode like this, because it's not really easy to come up with topics that are entertaining enough to talk an hour about. That's why I decided let's get a panel together to answer the questions, so that we're sort of forced to talk about the things and not depend on other people coming on. So not that I don't want anybody else on. If anybody else would have wanted to come on early here in the episode, I would have brought you on. We would have had 5 people on the panel. We can have up to 10 as long as we're not talking over each other. And we'll go around the table. It's a support group, and that's what you do. You sit around the table and you talk. And that's what this is all about. That's what I want this to be. And I think that that's more important than any, I guess, topics and us proving our wisdom to people, because I don't have it. I ain't got that wisdom, okay? And but I do know that we're here to help people. And so the final thing that I put on here, even though we're already past our hour, I was going to say, but we've talked about so much of this, so we're really close. How has Charcot Foot changed your career or the way you work? And you've almost all answered that already. It hasn't changed it has changed my career, because quite honestly, you guys are my career now. And it's this is more rewarding than selling any old refrigerator. So I thank everybody that participates and is a part of this. So any word, we're going to go through last words. And Dawn, I'm going to let you go first, and then we will say goodbye to Dawn.
I feel like I could be used for a greater cause. I'm underemployed right now, and I miss that.
Well, as long as you don't care about being paid, you can be right here all the time, all you want. I mean, we'll take you any day of the week and twice on Sundays. Okay. So I appreciate that. and now, first of all, because these guys don't know your story, Dawn, um, how long have you been diagnosed with Charcot Foot?
10 years.
Okay, that's what I thought. And that's diagnosed with Charcot Foot. That's one of the longest diagnoses that I know. I went back and listened to part of your story. Um, Woody, you've had it for probably 10 years, but you didn't know it, so
Right.
that doesn't count.
Right.
And I've been 3 years, and I think that's a long time. But so to have 10 years worth of experience right there, that's a great wealth of knowledge, John. So I thank you so much. Any thoughts for everybody other than that? I guess you did give your thoughts, but
That was my thought.
all right. Well, goodbye. No, thank you very much, John, for being on. we will talk to you again, and next week, hopefully, you'll be with us on the panel. Anybody else that wants, just message me, and I can tell you how to get onto the panel, like Dawn did. If you think that you've got something to contribute, it doesn't have to be 10 years. Trust me. All I want is an empathetic approach to life, and someone that wants to help people. Okay. All right, Dawn. Thank you, dear. We will talk to you next time.
Bye, Don.
Thanks.
All right. We're going to say bye, Dawn.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. I put Dawn back in the back room. Even though I say goodbye, Dawn is not going to go away because we're going to talk after we shut the live off. So, guys, back to our OG. This is our original our OG crew, our original crew. Thank you, guys. I appreciate any final words. We're going to go to Steven first. Any final words?
No, reach out, learn. We can learn from you. You can learn from us, our experiences. So come back next week and see us. We really look forward to seeing you.
And everybody, if you need a job, go down to that hospital because they just love everybody. Okay.
I'm coming first, Steven.
All right, Steven, thank you. We'll talk to you next week, too. And Woody, it's just you and I again. Here we are again.
One more time.
Any final words, my friend?
Yeah, just stick in there. Find help. Reach out to one of us. Reach out to somebody. They're just keep on doing you and find the help you need to live the life that you want to live. Whatever that looks like.
Got it. Don't let Charcot Foot define you.
Nope.
Okay. You take
Never.
care of it. All right, Woody, thank you. We'll talk to you next week. Okay, well, I guess that leaves me alone here. And thank you, everybody, for watching. My final word to everybody that I hope is a takeaway from this is, 1 second here. First off, I want to throw this out there. This is Nia's group, her Facebook page in the UK. Soulmates, Charcot Foot Support UK. There's a QR code. You guys can pause the video, rewind the video, whatever, scan it with your phone. Become a member of her Facebook group. Like I put on there, the fastest growing support group for Charcot Foot in the world. I don't know if that's true or not, but it sounded really good. And I thought Nia might appreciate that. But get on Nia's group. Let's help Nia have a great group in the UK so she can help people there. And let me find my spot here. Here we are. My message to you is, it's simple. You're not alone in this. We're here for you. And if you're watching, listening, and you spot somebody on one of the Facebook pages that is scared, and you can just tell they're scared, they feel alone, reach out and say hi. That's all it takes. Sometimes that's all they need to get them through the next day, is say hi to them and let them know they're not alone. And we've all had these issues. And I'm going to close with the same thing I say on all my recorded messages. I don't know why I didn't do it on live messages. And I don't want you to do it tonight because it's a little late out there for a lot of you people, especially out on the East Coast. But tomorrow,